Hey, Patriots, Terry Anderson. I'm here with my good friend, Mark Middleton. Hope you guys are doing good. Mark's going to share a little bit about us. Mark is a J6er. Known Mark for about a year and a half, and he been through a lot of stuff last year when the right after J6, and I'm going to have him tell you a little briefly about that and about what we're trying to do together. Mark, how are you doing, brother?
Doing well.
Good,
Doing well.
good.
Thank you for having me.
Share with the group a little bit about what's happening with you and what's been happening and what we're looking at going forward, sir.
All right. Well, it's been about a year and a half since me and my wife were arrested. It was April of 2021, and of course we're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of J6 itself. And so during that time, this last year and a half, it's been scary. God has been very, very good to us. Our local church has really rallied again around us, and the community as a whole. But there wasn't a lot of support for us, and that was scary. When we were released from jail, we were basically kicked out of the courthouse doors, and no phones, no way to contact
In
anyone.
Washington, D.C.
No. It was
you're
in
here.
Plano.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
right,
we
that's
were
right.
arrested. We live in Cook County, right up along the Red River,
Right.
and taken to Plano.
But no support.
No support.
Right.
Nothing going forward. Didn't know anything. Never had any legal issues, so we didn't know the first step. We were asked if we had legal representation, and we're like, no, never needed it before. It just, we didn't know where to turn. And since then, it's kind of been the whole step of the way. Is we don't have someone helping us guide us through the next steps. It seemed like the legal team that we did have, that we don't have now, they were really kind of all about show me the money and I'll take you to the next step. Show me the money and I'll take you to the next step.
And if you don't have the money, then you're on your own.
Then you're on your own,
Right.
which is where Jaleesa and I are now.
Right.
Is we're on our own because we don't have the money to keep paying them.
Well, tell me about this. God put on your heart, because you and I have talked about this. Mark and I have known each other for almost a year and a half. Right after that happened last summer, we met. Then we, met each other and got to know each other better at the Patriot Fest. But you had said that God put on your heart to do something like what we're doing now.
Absolutely.
Right.
And right after we were arrested, because of the lack of money, the finances on our side, and trying to reach out to other organizations, God put on my heart and my wife's heart, Jaleese, to start our own foundation. Because J6ers are just the beginning. If the federal government stays the way it is, with the current administration, with the mindset that's in Washington, D.C. now, they're going to keep coming after all of us that are patriots, that are Christians, all of you pastors out there.
Yeah.
I have been a pastor. They're coming after us, and they're not going to stop until they totally shut this movement down, shut the conservative constitutional
So
movement
what we
down.
need is a group that can help support people that come under persecution from our federal government, like what Antifa had in the summer of 2020 when they were getting actually summer of 2019. It was 2020 when they were getting arrested and getting bailed back out again.
Yeah.
We need something like that for our community. Is that correct?
Absolutely.
Right.
And the other side, the liberal side, is highly organized and extremely well funded, and that's a problem on our side. Is we don't have an organization that's worth a flip. We don't have funding that's worth a flip, and we're just each individually kind of kicked out on an island. And even a lot of those so-called conservatives or patriots are like, ooh, boy, they've been arrested. We need to stay away from them.
Exactly. There's the infighting between our own conservative,
Yes.
Republican, patriot movement, and we've got, it's Christian, so Christian, patriot, conservative, Republican, we have got to stop that.
Yes.
So this is what we are trying to do, is we're trying to raise awareness, teach people a little bit about what's really going on, also set up funding for legal defense, set up funding for family, for taking care of
Yes.
the families
Yeah.
of the people that are persecuted. My wife was alone for 3 weeks while I was in jail. Might be again if I go back to jail, so there's got to be some kind of, just like in the old days, when somebody got sick or somebody died, the community would rally behind them, bring them
Absolutely.
food, help them out, we don't have that type of community, and we need that for our people, for our community.
Absolutely, because what we've seen with Antifa and Black Lives Matter is their community rallied around them and bailed them out
to the extent of it being illegal the way they did it, But
yes.
And so we're not saying we want to do it the right way, and so what we're trying to do is we're going to set up a relief fund to be able to fund and help patriots that are under attack, Christians, conservatives, because they're coming right down the pike. They started with J6ers, now they're coming after Republicans. Actually, they started with J6ers, then Patriots. Now they're coming after straight up Republicans, ultra Republican, calling all Republicans terrorists or extremists. And then they're going to come after Christians. Mark my word, within the next 2 years, they'll be coming after Christians in general. If you can claim yourself to be a white, Anglo, or black, it doesn't even matter the color, but a Christian, they're coming after you.
Yeah.
So, we got to be prepared.
If you're professing the Word of God and you're standing on the Word of God, you're a target.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's just the simple truth of the fact. They're going to start doing that soon. So we need an organization that's going to help the J6ers. It's going to help those who are being persecuted, the outspoken conservatives that are standing up and sounding the alarm.
Is that why they're coming after me?
I would bet so.
That's
the number one reason.
Because I'm noisy and loud and wear a bandana.
And, they're going to come after the pastors. They're going to come after the Christians that are standing up and saying that this is wrong.
Right.
And we need an organization that's going to stand behind these people and hold their hand the entire way.
That's right.
I know Terry reached out to me through a contact when he was still in jail to try to, walk him through, giving some ideas of where to start.
Because I had no idea, and we were lost. We didn't know. I said the only thing I can do is call somebody who's been there, a J6er, like Mark. And so I called Mark and got a number for an attorney, called him. That didn't work out right away, but in the end it ended up working out because I'm using him on another case, so I've got one defense and then one that we're actually suing the federal government, So guys, listen, this is not an easy fight. This is not going to be a slam dunk. We're going to have to stay in this for the long fight, but we have got to band together. We've got to be a team, and we are starting that team. We have got our charitable organization set up right now, PRO, Patriot Relief Organization. It's going to be great. You can donate money there to fund and help people, and not just Mark and I. Mark and I, we've had this conversation. We know that God's going to take care of ours. We're not going to set this fund up and then have it pay for our legal defense and nobody else's. We're setting this fund up so that it can pay for everybody's. Mark had told me he'd had some experiences with some other organizations that said that they were going to help other people, and he went to them and said, hey, I'm a J6er, we're having all kinds of trouble with our money. And they said, well, we'll have to get back to you. And 6 months later, nothing. Right. 6 months later, nothing. You guys, we need help. We need to be able to help people immediately when they get arrested so that we can help get them out. If it's something that's politically motivated, which a lot of this stuff is, it's not even about the charge. It's the political aspect. They want to silence us. They want to make us look bad. They want to paint their narrative. We want to be able to combat that, to fight that. And so that's what we're setting this up for.
And it's obvious that it's political because it's not a knock at the door saying, we're with the federal government, will you come with us?
Right, which we would.
Right, absolutely. But no, it's not that. This is a full-on SWAT assault on perfectly law-abiding individuals that pose no danger whatsoever.
Absolutely.
And that's how we know it's political.
Right.
And, one of the first steps for those that have been through 12-step, the first step is what? Admitting that you've got a problem. Well, we've got a problem in the conservative movement, in the MAGA movement, or whatever they want to call it. I don't care. To me, it's the conservative, patriot, constitutionalist movement. That we're not organized, and we're not helping and banding together with each other like the left is. And we've got a real problem, and we need to fix it.
Well, we have a good group of people around us. We've set up a bulletproof organization.
I think so.
And we are setting this up where the feds can't come in and seize our money and lock our bank accounts up because we're setting it up all according to their federal laws. We are going to help and raise awareness is the biggest thing. We're gonna have speakers out. Mark's gonna speak. I'm gonna speak. We're gonna go wherever it takes us, wherever God calls us to be, whether it be locally, across the country, wherever we can. to raise awareness to what's going on, the plight of the political prisoners because of the regime that we're living under right now.
Absolutely.
You know, so and we need help. We need more speakers. We need more J6ers. We need more people that are willing to invest their time and money into this organization. Patriot Relief Organization is one, and then American Patriot Relief is the other. And we'll be setting them up both. One is a 501c4 and one is a 501c3. And so we are definitely going about this the right way. We're excited to do this, and we're looking forward to working with you guys down the road. Anything else, Mark?
I was going to say, and as we get these organizations together and get them moving, although we've got a board of what, 13?
10.
10. Yeah, 10. We're going to have committees, and we're going to need you to step up to the pump and work with us and become part of those committees.
Absolutely.
Because the more people we have working together for the good cause of this, the less they're going to be able to throw stones at us and say, well, you're just collecting the money for your own defense.
Absolutely.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm collecting money for all of our defense collectively.
Nationwide.
And so that's why me and Terry have vowed that, we're not going to be the sole benefactors. We're not going to be the primary benefactors of this, or my wife. We're going to be benefactors for everybody, organization.
We've already determined that God's got us,
Yeah.
and I believe that, God has showed up in so many different ways in both of our defenses already. That we right now, but what we do see is that lack of just support for other fellow patriots. I could rattle off a bunch of names right now, and I'm not going to, but you know who they are. The ones that are still in jail, that are having to cop a plea right now because they have no other way out. And the government's going to hold them until they cop a plea. Luckily I was able to get out on pretrial release, but if I hadn't, would I be copping a plea? Taking a deal just to get out of jail? I don't know. Only God can answer that.
And that's the sad thing, and that's how the federal government wins most of their cases. Is the weight of the federal government coming down on somebody is almost insurmountable.
Yep.
I know that. Terry knows that.
Yes, I do.
And that's why so many take a plea deal in all kinds of situations, because they cannot fight the federal government and they cannot do it alone. We need your help to step up with us and help us fight this fight, because what's going on is wrong. It is dead wrong, and we've got to stop it.
Well, and so as we move forward with this movement, and this is a movement, guys. This is not just 2 or 3 guys here or 2 or 3 guys there. If you take us collectively across the country, I could again rattle off a bunch of different organizations: PFA, PFW Deplorables. There's hundreds of us out there, thousands of different groups, and what we need to realize is that we are one, and that we are a movement together. Collectively, we're a movement. Individually, our groups are just groups. We have got to bond together, band together, work together, support each other together. It's not about me. It's not about you. It's about our movement. It's about helping our people. And our people are conservative, Republican, Christian, Americans, and those are the people that we want to help. So,
and Terry, I think, touched on exactly the problem. Is there's a lot of conservative groups all around the state. The bigger counties have multiple. But the problem is none of us are organized. We're all on our own islands, and we need to quit that. We need to come together and form a large community that is banding together for the common cause. It's great that each one of these groups have their own independence. Absolutely, I'm 100% behind that. But we all need to have a banded common cause that we are working together on, not each individually trying to reinvent the wheel and cut our own ruts.
Yeah, we've got so many different groups out there. You're calling the other groups patriots, like patriots, or you're calling the Republicans rhinos, and there is some of that going on. But to just use those across the board to describe people sometimes, or the infighting that comes from that is probably the most divisive thing that we could do as a movement, is to attack each other from within. Listen, if you're fighting for good and you're fighting for the Constitution and you're fighting for Christian values and conservative values, you're on my team. Do I like everything you're going to say? Do I like everything you're going to do? No, probably not. But you know what? You're still on my team. We're still working towards the common good. So love me or hate me, I don't really care, man. But let's do this together. Let's fight this together. You don't have to love me at the end of the day, but let's fight this together. So, anyways, listen, we kind of rambled on a little bit on this. Was supposed to be a little 5-minute thing, and I think we went 25 minutes. Or
I don't
whatever,
think
so.
we went that long.
Well, we
But,
went a bit.
yeah.
And so, and we're probably going to do is just cut this up into little pieces. We'll
Okay.
send this over to an editor and have him edit it. Take out my fat roll and everything else. But no, we just we're just excited to be moving forward on this. Mark and Jaleese Middleton, myself, Melissa White, Chris Kirtley, Kevin and Mary Caldwell, Greg and Janelle Dunn. We can edit this out if they don't want this stuff in there, but we've got a great secretary in Tammy McNatt right now. Who am I missing on that?
Mike.
Oh,
Ballard.
Mike Bolland, our CPA.
Yeah.
That's it.
I think. I hope we're not forgetting anybody.
No, that's it. Yeah, because it's only 10. So, but listen, guys, we really just want to keep working together, and we hope that you guys will all, support our thing. If this thing, what we're trying to do, guys, if you have trouble supporting this, then you have trouble supporting this because it's for supporting our community. It's for legal defense for patriots that get in the sights of the federal government with the tyrannical overreach of our federal government. And it's for their families. It's for supporting their families. It's for helping their families that are trying to struggle to pay their bills or sell their house, or the division that comes from it, the added stress that comes from it, that cause divorces, cause kids to wonder, whether their dad's doing the right thing or not. I've had this issue. I've had to talk to my kids over and over again saying, son, this is why I'm doing this. Dad, you're just, you need to just keep your mouth shut. No, son, I don't. I don't need to keep my mouth shut. If I keep my mouth shut today, my kids will pay for it tomorrow.
Yep.
And it's, what does it say? If there must be war, let it be on my time. Let it be on my time, not on my children's time. So, and I'm not advocating war, by the way, FBI. So, anyways, we're gonna sign off. We're gonna do it again.
All right. Sounds great.
So now we got that, and I'll have to get that. You know what we should have.